Okay, welcome to the Panorama. A pleasant good afternoon, good afternoon. And to our family who's joining us, good afternoon. You are just welcome. The Youth Found second. If you are following last week, we started off with our inaugural edition. We talked about youth getting involved into politics, making impact, youth create change. And this is the edition where we're going to talk youth empowerment, empowerment, all of these things on Fuga FM 9.5. And I'm Crystal George, of course, I'll be talking you through this edition. And I'll be taking you through the show whenever, wherever. So wherever you are listening to us on radio or following us on Facebook or YouTube, welcome to Panorama. This is where we get to discuss the top secrets, the hard truth about youth empowerment, the transformation that youth are making in the country and outside of the country. You know, a lot of times, yeah, people say that young people are not doing well, young people are dying around, they are not making impact. So this show is for us to tell you that that's not true because we have a lot of young people that are doing well, and we are going to feature them here on the show, share their stories, talk about their impact they are making in the community, in the country at large. So keep following us every Tuesday, 3 4 for the panorama. Today I have with me in the studio a friend and Allah. I know this young man is been involved into student leadership and he's also into politics as well. So he's someone who's been doing well. He's been driving his peers, people been following him, and he been driving change. So today we are going to hear from him, but I don't want to take all of the time, so we'll turn to him for him to better introduce himself for us today.
Thank you. Thank you, Celia. I like to say thank you for the privilege given to me to sit on this wonderful platform. I must first register my thanks and appreciation to the management who have given you the privilege to grow in this normal profession of ours. So I'm grateful to be here and thank you for the invite as well.
Okay, thank you, Troy.
Yeah.
You are welcome today. So, how do you feel, by the way?
Where I'm good, I'm excited at the moment. It's been a long time. I've been off the microphone. I have not been actively engaged. But we're working behind the scene. It's good being here. Hearing myself on this panel, it tells me that in the soonest possible time, we'll be able to talk about Liberia and change the dynamics. So I'm good. I'm okay.
Thank you. Because I can see, I'm looking at the outfit and it's telling me that you are actually doing well.
Yeah.
So we want to get into this as soon as possible. We want to hear from you. Like I said from my intro,
Mm,
people keep saying that the young people are not doing things in the country
mm,
and even beyond the country.
mm,
So now we want to change the dynamics, as you say.
mm,
We want to bring stories to the radio here on the show for people to get to know that youth are actually doing well. Like
mm,
young people are doing well. And we thought to invite you because you are one of those young men that we have been following closely and I've identified that you've really done well, you moving greatly. So now we want you to share your journey with us for all of you people that are listening to the show and other people as well that are listening to the show. So can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Okay, thank you, Priscilla. I think I have the template before me here. So the name Chucky Radimir Kawurata Thomas. That Kawurata is my grew up as a child with his grandmother on the Swaga Island, barely in the 2000s and the 90s. And Chucky have been so passionate, growing as a young man, to becoming a great man.
Okay.
And every time I ask myself, what do I want to become? What is my strength? And I got to realize that my capacity as a human is my ability to articulate well and my voice capability. Since the day I got, to know about that, I began to put more emphasis on my voice, build my capacity, learn more. So I have been around for some time now into student leadership prospect. I have been around for some time now from high school to the college level where I am today. So, Sharky, I played football before, and I played football. I played for the Ambassador Soccer Academy. That was headed by Coach Papi Jones then. But like, I feel that soccer was not in my DNA or was not in alignment with me.
Okay.
So I have to divert and come back to academics where I have my strength and my capability. So that's what I've been involved into. And I've been driving the weed as a young man. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean that's great. You talk about you coming from Sano, a crewmate.
Yeah, sure.
So have you ever been there?
No, absolutely. I have not been to Sino before. I just wish to be to Sino uh, by, by any time sooner. Yeah, probably 2029 when I go contest there.
So you lost.
No, not that I lost, but I can speak crew.
You
I
can
have
speak
not been
to.
to Sino, but I can speak crew. I understand crew to the fullest. Yeah.
Okay. So I know that you are the president
Mm,
for the Communication and Media Studies Department at the University of Liberia,
mm,
correct?
mm.
Okay. So now, can you throw a little bit of like how did it all started?
Thank you, Priscilla. I can remember when I enrolled at UL in 2018 with a
Okay.
fixed mind. I came from a family that is not rich, that is not poor, but from the middle class.
Okay.
And I asked myself, what am I doing here? What do I want to achieve? So my very first time in UL, I went there like, let's take one six copy book, got like what I planned, and then one bag, and then I went on campus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I started the process with determination, but there were challenges along the wayside. But that did not stop me, Priscilla.
Okay.
Not at all. So when I saw myself getting elected to college, people start following me. I start reading, making some good grades. I start building my allyship with some big sisters, like Margaret Popo, like Madeline Matthew, because I was not strong financially. So they relied on me. I was so serious. So now they go, let's go eat, let's go play zone, just like
Yeah.
that. So I start building my allyship with them and start studying harder. So I was at my sophomore level.
Okay.
Yeah. And Rosetta Fadolo, who is a veteran now, was nominated by Chairman Toga to spearhead the leadership at that time.
Okay.
And when I saw that potential in Rosetta, I built confidence to joining her, moving the department. When she left, they conducted an election where Grace Moliesi, Azar Joseph Banye, and myself, all our colleagues, we won a web ballot in that process. So during the inauguration, I was praised by few colleagues like Festa Gua, Makula, the other guys. They quiz me. They say, you have more potential in you. Do you want to be president of national department? And I said, yes. They said, but you want to honor my, grades and answers? I said,
Yeah.
no. But that's what I desire. At that point in time, I have 3 point GPA, but I was not a senior student. So
Oh.
I could not contest for the presidency. So I put down my political ambition and I went as Secretary General to Isaiah and Grace Molise. And tell you what, I was more effective because I have a passion for what I want to do. Grace is my witness. I was very punctual on what I think I could do at the time. I was giving every information timely and concisely. So I believe in that period of time, I started building my allyship. People start following. You are a witness of that. So when Greg left the scene, Isaiah was president. He's a very good guy, but Isaiah is not the politically driven individual,
Oh.
but he has innovation.
Okay.
So because he was my boss, so every time I want to weed. I consult him and he said, Chuck, go ahead. So I was more seeing the as I because I was always writing. They were following update. So I point as I said, Chucky, I don't think I have a passion anymore. I want to step down. You take the weed. So when as I stepped down between 2022 and 3, I took the weed from there as Secretary General. And by the grace of God, where we are today, we are not the president. We have worked. We have stricter to the extent that the chairman have testified that why should we call ourselves president? But because we have performed in more than what you think that who have done the process. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, from what you said and what I've heard,
Mm.
you've been doing well when it
Okay.
comes to student leadership in politics.
Mm.
But I want to understand something, right?
Okay.
In our simple
Librarian
language.
Palau.
Exactly.
Okay.
So we know that leadership is quite different from politics,
Sure.
right?
Mm.
Now, how do you distinguish your let's say your leadership with the students by not being so political? If you get my point.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think I'm excessive. 100% excessive. I, I built the perception that politics is not enemies to game.
Oh,
So I think that for the ill of power, one of these things that make your enemy your friend. So whenever I see that I want to be an opponent, I don't build strong bond with you. Open up to you, I'm moving to you, and I incorporate you. That is my strength. Because I intend to fight back at you, you have a ground. So I don't do that. So my leadership style have been in the way that I've opened up to everybody. I don't want to be seen as a creative politician or a student leader. So if I feel you have potential, I don't throw back at you. I come to you and I take your advice and I seek your consultation in the process. With that, I think I can weaken you in the
yeah.
process. So that's my ability.
So now, most of the students, some of the students, by
Mm,
the way, they complain that oh, her Turkey is in a position all of the time, and then he overshadowing you. You talk about in Isaiah,
mm,
but then later on, people saw you being the president
mm,
of the department
mm,
in your Konisha away. And now I was hearing other people coming up and saying, oh, Turkey is trying to overshadow his colleagues and his leadership style is just like he's not giving way to other people to come in. So how true is that?
No, I think that's a false, Priscilla. Now, when people get responsibility, it comes a requirement. When you are in the capacity to do something, put your all into it. I one person, I believe, when you say, Chucky, do this, I don't take it lightly. Even on the football field, I play football. All my life, if you say, Chucky, this is what you can do, I take it so dearly. So we are different in nature. We have different upbringing and origin. So as for me, if you say Chucky is the Secretary General, I put my all. I want to perform, not to impress,
Mhm.
but to grow. So it is from that perception, people believe that, hey, Chucky want to overcome. No, trust me. If you say Chucky is the director of one radio station, eh,
Yeah.
I will perform in that capacity. That even people who are there will say that I'm the manager. Because I don't take job lightly. I don't take things lightly
But that's how it should be.
because I believe people are watching our life and our movement. So those who want to view that Chucky is overshadowing, I wasn't overshadowing. Grace is there. As are the idea here. I was only implementing, doing the role given to me as a Secretary General to work in conformative with my role and what I can do. So some people saw that and they don't have the charisma that I have. I got energy. I have no, listen, I'm being very honest, right?
I can see
I
that.
have energy to move. If you say, let's go this way, I believe in myself and I can move the weed in any capacity. That's my strength. Yeah.
So how effective has your leadership been so far, me?
I think as a Secretary General, it is the best ever. I can tell you why. I organized an inter high school university tournament. First time ever in Mascon history since we were funded. I brought AMEU, I brought UMU, I brought Pepe Peter Kukwe, I brought our colleague Bausa. And that program was well attended. Do you know what it means for a young man like me? to convince peers from UMU, convince peers from AMU to board bus as far as Central Monrovia and come to Louisiana. It tells you that I put everything. I has the ability to convince, to persuade people. When I first met AMU president, he told me he was shocked. He said, "Well, you're a shocked guy. You're a young man. What driving you?" I said, I want to see all communicators on a one umbrella and see how we can change the dynamics. I heard that. Secondly, we also conducted what we call our jamboree. And I have been more proactive with the students. President, you're a witness. Moreover, everything about marketing department, I believe that we can change the parameter.
Okay.
Mascom Association is one of the biggest. UAir is a place that when you go to, you expound. So I see our department so hard, to my heart. I don't take it lightly. AMU, UMU, other schools around here, they are our genius in academics. That for the record. So I put it to a very high esteem to be president and to be a student leader for that association.
Okay, Chucky.
Yeah.
So if one would listen to you, you said you,
Mhm.
yeah, you were stressing on the word, you brought other other university students from their communication departments to come for your own university tournament.
Mhm.
You said you. So what about the other people that were around?
So,
Do
so,
do, do you have a team or not?
no,
It's
I
just you.
understand. So when I'm not being too euphemistic, right? When I said you, I was talking about the person behind the weed.
Okay.
So they are followers. I appreciate all of my colleagues, but as a leader, you must be at the forefront. So when I refer to myself, you, I means I was driving the weed. I was checking. I was confronting my colleague. I was, every time on them. So the other guys were there giving support on the back, but I was being more engaged because I was the arrowhead. I can't shy away and say we because the we did the overall work, but they were not at the front. That's why I said I was. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. So if you are just joining us, welcome to the Youth Panorama here on Foka FM 89.5. And I'm your host, Priscilla George. And I have with me in the studio today Ali and a youth leader who's been drafted, Chalky Daniel Thomas. If you are listening, this is the Youth Panorama where we are talking youth leadership and politics. And we want for each and every one of you to give your own contribution if you are joining us. So you can call us on the number 0770258232. Or
Or
if
if
you
you
are
are
following us on Facebook Live, you can just leave a comment and you ask a question. So back to you talking. I know being a youth leader is not an easy thing, most especially when you have tons of students looking up to you. Right?
Mhm.
So now, what are some of your challenges you face trying to move the student body to be productive?
So what I think, what I observe is the students are not bad students, but over the years, master department have not been a socially driven department as compared to biology, as compared to SASA.
Okay.
We are more diplomatic
Hmm.
and we are more academic for
Okay.
that record. So driving them to a sociable content as of academics is a bit slow.
Right.
No, honestly, it's a bit slow. Not that they are bad students, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it had not been an origin from the departments and the formation.
Mm-hmm.
So I found it difficult to get in their inclusivity 100%. But because of persistency, yes, they are starting up. And I can tell you, people are asking me, well, what will be our feature? The Nima, people are asking me about that. So it just for the past time we have two events. They have gotten the appetite to go more social and get more involved in the student activities. So yes, there are challenges, they are developing, but again, it's at a slow level because it has not been the foundation of our department. Yeah.
True. True. So how do you think you can? I mean, some of your techniques, your style you think you can use to get them more involved into the
So
social gathering and things.
yeah, so I'm trying to work along with like minded colleagues who have bought the idea and believe in us. And I can assure you, at the end of this vacation program in August, immediate August ends, we will start the awareness in the chat room of the students, start engaging them about our coming program, and also the chairman will handle election process. So for that, I'm still the secretary general, so I'll focus on the role given to me and draft our upcoming trip. Yeah. So I intend to work with everybody. And, I don't think people hate me because I don't think I got enemy. I don't think I have an opposing force.
You sure?
They are there, but I don't think, you know why?
Oh,
God
come
gave
on.
me a spirit
Okay.
that if you hit me in any phase of life, by the time I interface with you, automatically, no matter what happens, you have to drive into me. That's me.
Okay.
I don't I don't see people as an enemy. Politics wise, from the social context, once I interface with you for the very first time, that's the spirit God gave me. You have to follow. You have to tell, oh yeah, I mean, just like that. But you won't go rich because you know that I have the ability to deliver, and you will follow suit.
Exactly. So you believe that once people trying to go against you or your leadership style, and once they meet together, yeah, you all see this is you
Yeah.
talking,
So so
they tend
so
to fall.
so my strength. Okay, let me expose something. My strength is if you target me, don't talk to me.
Hmm.
Don't. I'm telling you. Once you give it a chance to talk to you, Priscilla, in all fairness, when you leave my presence, you leave with something. Because every time I talk to people, I don't talk about what I want to become. I talk about what I think you can do. So I bring you to myself. I put you in the capacity that listen, think about this, not me. So I want to bring you to the place that it's not about what the man can do, but what myself can do. So that's my strength.
Okay. So I'm seeing you with the YPLS
Yeah,
something on you, right?
yeah.
So I know that you were one of the alumni recently that you put out, but before we get there, I just ask this one question.
Okay.
Now, how did being a student leader,
Mhm.
shape your views on politics and society?
My view as a student leader have grown my passion for politics. I'm a journalist by profession, but I'm more detailed into politics because I believe politics is the way of life. Politics is the vehicle to man's problem.
Mhm.
Because you know why? In politics, people get equitable distribution of the rights given to them. So I believe as a student leader, I have grown so dearly to be more political in my thoughts and analytical in my analysis, even on a national level, because I believe that the people who go to power must have the consciousness to serve the country and to serve humanity and whoever they lead. So I think politics is the vehicle to man's life. Yeah,
Okay, so now coming to the Young Political Leadership School of Africa, right?
yeah.
Because you left from being the student leader that we all know. Now you are a proud alumni of the YPLS.
Yeah.
So now, can you tell us a bit about YPLS?
Priscilla, thank you. And I want to thanks to our mentor and teacher, Eli Jaulo,
Okay.
and the stronger iron lady, Afia of Africa. When I saw that link, I was passionate and I did apply. And I was started for an interview. And the guy who interviewed me asked me one question. Today, when you're a leader, what will you do for Liberia? And I said, there are three principles I think I can do for Liberia. One, education. Two, empowerment. Three, security. And he said, why? I said, because any country, any country in the world, any country, to be stable, you must invest in education because the brain is the control tower of any man. If people get capacitated academically, well-being of the people, food security, you know, talk about social security. I talk about from a broader perspective that people can feel relaxed that I am a citizen of this country and I believe in the system of the country. So, of all that is unfolding, I strongly believe that as a leader, my quest is on the march of empowerment. And I believe empowerment from an academic perspective, whether TVET, whether formal education. Because I believe when a man is educated, that man makes decisions not for himself, but for the society. Yeah.
Okay. So you are just joining us. Welcome to the Youth Panorama. This is airing on Foca FM 89.5, and I am Priscilla H. George, your host. You are going to keep hearing this voice until you get tired, but I know you won't get tired. So today we have Chorky Radamil Thomas in the studio, and we are talking about youth leadership and politics. So if you are just joining us here, what we've been talking about so far, we're talking about the youth leadership and how young people can get involved into youth leadership in their school, in their communities, wherever you find yourself, get involved. So now, Jackie, you coming back to you,
Mm.
you talk about if you were to be a leader or president of Liberia, what would you do? You talk about education, empowerment, and security.
Yeah.
So now coming to education, I noticed that we have a lot of educated people around now.
Mm.
We have schools now.
Mm.
So now if you bring in education, is it that the government is not ready working on that side?
Priscilla, there is one thing that holds in mind. Life is in a cycle. So when it comes to education, the government is trying her best. Mm? But I'm talking about people being more nationalistic.
Okay.
So if you educated, your education must affect your community, must affect your society. So it's not the people, it is the action.
Okay.
So when I'm talking about education, I'm talking about an applicable education. When you learn something, you must be able to apply what you learn. So what I'm saying is people must apply. If you read a book, you should be able to apply what you read in that book.
True.
So that is what is driving me. That's what I'm talking about education. It's
Okay.
not just to get a degree, but you will be able to apply it. Let's see the applicability of what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
So going back
To what
to
list.
what we are
Yeah.
because I mean I really want to talk about this thing, right?
Mhm.
So why did you decide to join the Young Political Leadership School Africa in the first place?
So it comes as a result of growing, growing because I want to grow. And I applied, I was selected, and the 1 week spent in that hall, I think among the peers and our colleagues, I was among if you kind of first 10 participants to be recognized. I think I'm one of the first 10 because I went there with everything to connect, to network, and to learn. And today in the chat room, once I write, it was, oh yeah, the political analyst, the political analyst, the communication experts. That's how they call me in the
The
chat
trust
room.
your level, eh?
Yeah, I didn't go there to see it as a common ground.
Yeah.
That was the place. Now I can tell you, I got a very good friend in Nigeria.
Wow.
The day I go to Nigeria, I will go to Delta State. I'm telling you, a
No,
very good friend from Nigeria. Just because of what people say, I can take a phone and call when I just say, my man, I is Nigeria. And I will understand much about Nigeria. Lebanon, Cameroon, Guinea. So that program exposes me to a lot of good things. Leadership, it exposed me to what we call emotional intelligence.
okay.
Yeah, I learned a lot. So when we go on, I will tell you what I learned.
No, I mean you learn a lot because this you I'm seeing you putting in it talking about it. It should be interesting. One thing that you talk about, you made a friend in Nigeria.
Mm.
So now this just brings to my mind networking,
Okay.
the power of networking. So going to these events, these schools and all of that, it's not relying solely on your attendance,
Okay.
but how well you make yourself known at where you go. And you talking about having this friend in Nigeria that maybe today they say Chucky leaves from Liberia and gets to Nigeria. You already show that you have somebody there who's willing to welcome you.
The first battle cry ever in that place was led by me,
Ooh,
Doctor Professor Josephine Nkrumah. She stood on her feet, and I led the battle cry, and everybody followed suit. People ask about that, let me lead battle cry. I said, no, this is a political hall.
thank
And
you.
you understand? So I go there with everything. My heart was so heavy to learn and to connect.
Okay.
So I can tell you, among the hundreds that was in that hall, I think I one of the beneficiary of the YPLS.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm super happy for you.
Okay.
I mean, you are a proud alumna. I'm looking at you and this is
Yeah. So this is the cool hall.
excitement.
Yeah, this is the cool hall 12, and I can tell you, one thing that happened in that place. The guy come from Nigeria, Kevin Balago, was contesting for the president, and Abigail was also contesting for Liberia delegate. And I was clear, I said, I can vote you, Abigail. I want to see YPLS over 12 going across Liberia.
Mm,
And the debate was in the hall. And colleagues say, "Oh, I'm not being nationalistic." I said, "No, I want to see a decentralization of this movement." So I voted for the guy from Nigeria, and I talked to colleagues, and the process went on fine. After the election, we lost the process, but we are still an element in the process. We are there to checkmate whatever happened in Walla PSA. So I can tell you that place is a place that any young man can go to and learn. Not just the lesson, you can build good network with people. And I want to say thanks to Ellie Dawolo for such great initiative. Yeah.
okay. So looking at your energy and then you were supporting a guy from Nigeria,
Mhm.
but then in the end, a guy from Liberia, correct? I
Yeah,
mean,
a lady from
a
Liberia
lady,
won.
a
She
lady
won
from
on the Liberian solidarity. People say, "Oh yeah, that Liberian be the president."
you sure that's what happened?
Yeah,
How? You can't just conclude.
no, I was clear. Everybody I talked to during the election process, they said to me, "Truckee, let's Liberia carry the team because Liberia is started." I said, "No, I had a different parandate on the thoughts, and I was clear. I said, we must vote for Kevin Balanco from Nigeria."
No, then now I have an issue somewhere.
What is the issue?
So because we know that in YPLS is about bringing leaders, young leaders together
Hmm.
to talk about politics and enlighten their mind, to talk
Hmm.
about vision,
Hmm.
right? So if you see people voted for the current
President.
president
Hmm.
based on solidarity
Hmm.
that oh it's from Liberia, so we should vote for a Liberian,
Hmm.
then I'll have a problem because people should be looking at vision and not whether this person is from here or not. So do you are saying that the person that was from Liberia did not have that vision?
No, not no. I was not saying she's a good and a brilliant sister. I She has the ability, but I was more focused on decentralization because from the breadth of YPLSA, Liberia have won the presidency in 11 consecutive time per record. I'm sure. So I was one person who was driving that. What can we shift to another country, taking the presidency? That was my idea. I was calling for a change that we can support Nigeria in the process. All Liberians support the process as well. But unfortunately, Lady won on the Liberian solidarity. And we are watching our leadership, give our support to her, but we'll make every necessary point to what she thinks she will do for us.
But now you can say looking at the history, the presidency being coming from here,
Mhm,
Liberia,
mhm,
but then you want another country to carry it
mhm,
this time around. So
mhm.
is it because you wanted to just go to another country,
No.
or because you believe in the vision of the other leaders
So
in other
the
countries?
name picture is young political leadership school Africa, not Liberia. So it's Africa, it's holistic.
Correct.
Because it is holistic, we must have leaders who will be president from in another country. You can get first vice international president, you can get second vice, you know. But my idea then was let's produce a foreign president to turn the wheel, not a Liberian president. But unfortunately, again, the majority is not always right. But she won the mantra of the Liberian solidarity. Yeah.
You keep saying this, you keep saying this, right? But anyway, we will get back
Okay.
to that. So, if you are just joining us, welcome again to the Youth Panorama, and you are listening to Foca FM 89.5. And I am your beautiful host, Priscilla George, and I have for Kira Damia Thomas. We are talking about his leadership so far in his journey and experience at the Young Political Leadership School Africa and how it has helped him shape his life. So if you are a young person listening out there and you are interested in youth leadership, student leadership, or politics, this is an opportunity for you to listen and try your own best to see how you can be a part of YPLS next cohort, because this is something that's going to transform your life, most especially if you are into leadership and you are into politics. This program is for you. So now let's talk about what were some of your biggest lessons you learned at the YPLS.
One was transformational leadership. Transformational leadership. Two was emotional intelligence. Three, that when the primer asks a question, when you die today, what will you be remembered for?
Hmm.
And when she asked that question, the entire hall went silent. And people began to ponder over the question, what will you be remembered for? And I asked myself, as a young man, when God takes the breath out of my nursery, what will the world, what will my community say about me? So that question resonated very well. And she spoke about ECOWAS.
Hmm.
That ECOWAS is not the building, but ECOWAS is the country, head of state that makes all ECOWAS. So she enlightened our minds on ECOWAS. All along, my thought was, I get 1 billion in see people, but all of the heads of ECOWAS are leaders that make decisions for ECOWAS. So I learned about ECOWAS. I learned about the fundamental of ECOWAS. I learned ECOWAS principles. I learned that ECOWAS is a regional group that is able to transform and some of the things they are doing. I learned about a transformational leadership process. Leadership, so the first thing is transformation, the next is leadership.
Mhm.
So you must transform before you can become a leader.
Oh, that's deep.
So what that means is that if you want to take on leadership, your mind must be reoriented to the task you want to take on.
Okay.
So because you're going to lead people, so you must be reoriented, driven before you can lead people. So that series, why my understanding that it's not just about being a leader, but what transformation do you have to bring on the table? How can you change the people perception? How can you get them involved? These were questions. So it talks about inclusivity as well.
Yeah.
So as a leader, that talk about including people, not just making decisions all by yourself, but you will be able to include people. At the national level, we don't see our lawmakers including people in their decision making.
People, when you say you do not see lawmakers, including people, what you mean?
So
Who
as human
were
beings, lawmakers have three kind of functions: representation, oversight, and lawmaking. So
okay?
for the fact is, you are a lawmaker. Eh? When you go to capital, you represent a constituent. You are not voted by yourself, even though you get one vote. But the majority people make you a lawmaker. So anything as such, you must come back to the constituent and consult in that process that is inclusivity. So let's say, for example, if I'm a lawmaker tomorrow and you say there's a budget on the table, I got to come back to my constituent and read what the legislation is about. Get there are some bright brains in our constituents. Bring expertise, talk about it, have that view. So when you're speaking, You are speaking from a holistic perception that this is the perception of my people about this budget. This is what they say about law. For example, you will be speaking in the context of the people, not you as a leader. That's what I mean by inclusivity. So that training impacted me so highly and opened my mind that it's not just about you, but what do you have before you can transform people. So you must first be transformed as a leader before you can take on leadership.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so before coming to my next questions,
Mhm.
let's just clear everything. You talk about some of the lessons that you learned at YPLS.
Mhm.
So now it's not about you going there and learning, but it's what you do with what you learn
Yeah.
that counts, right?
Mhm.
So now coming out from YPLS as
Mhm.
an alumna,
Mhm.
which project do you think carry you can carry out on the country or in your community for other young people to feel impacted or empowered by you?
Thank you, Priscilla. Honestly, to this conversation, I live in a drug-infested community in Town. I have been to drug activities as supervisor, and I have not decided yet because of the job we do. But I think this question means that I must get on my feet to talk to people. I have talked to a few good friends, but not 100% because I feel that, you know, I have all the responsibility.
Yeah.
But I think I'm more into discussing the issue that matters to the country from a broader perspective. And I think I can contribute to Liberia. So, for example, what is unfolding now in Liberia with regard to President Bouaka reuniting the broken walls of Liberia by giving Barry to some foreign state leaders, I think that thing, it has an impact on me because I was saying to somebody, life, you must lead by example.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that with this question, we'll think about something, we'll think about something we can do and ask for support. But I am more driven into the national code issue than a community based issue.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So, if you are just joining us again, welcome to Youth Panorama. This is Foca FM 89.5, and I'm your host, Priscilla George. And I have with me Chalky Radamia Thomas, and we are talking about leadership, youth leadership, and politics, and how it's driving our life, how it's changing our communities and countries at large. We want to get the young people involved. That's why the Youth Panorama is all about. We are trying to feature youth stories, youth success stories, talk about things that are affecting the youth, ranking from mental health, education, youth leadership, tech, you just name it. Once it's about the youth, we are here to talk about it. And today we are discussing youth leadership and how young people can get involved into youth leadership politics.
Mhm.
So if you just joining us, stay tuned as we drive you. Don't you go nowhere as we go into it. So coming back to you, Choki.
Mhm.
So I don't know because you came from being a youth leader and then you are a politician now. Something like that, wacky or S.
Yeah. So I learned politics from a diverse perspective.
Okay,
I'm not a politician.
okay.
I am a political analyst.
Political analyst.
So it means that I have deep insight and I want to grow in analyzing political issues across Liberia. But I'm a journalist. I know I will become a politician, not in the distant future, but at this point in time, I'm not a politician. I'm a professional young man and a journalist. Yeah.
Okay, so you do have a plan of being a politician.
No, my plans is into the diplomatic world. That's why I'm reading political science with emphasis on foreign policy analysis.
Wow.
So, reading about foreign policy giving the clue on diplomacy.
Okay.
So that does not exempt me out of politics because I read a lot of international policies and I know what it means to to have a country having its national interest. Yeah.
I mean, you are a strong young man. I'm enjoying you. So now, what advice would you give to young people who want to get involved into leadership or politics out there?
The first thing is that before you come up to say I want to lead, search yourself. You must search yourself. Are you a leader? Are you prepared for the tax? Can you withstand criticism? Because these are things that break people down.
Hmm.
If you're not prepared for a tax, obviously in the process, you'll be bullied. So before you come up and say, I want to lead, search yourself. What am I about to get into? Am I prepared for that? What are the future implications it has on me, on my family, on my character? And you must be character driven. One thing that is my strength, like people money. Money. If you give me money, say keep that money, Chucky. Once it is not mine, no matter what happens, Cecilia,
You
I will
don't
not take
trust
it.
it.
So I think my strength eh, is money, and I have been very much honest with my conscience. So to come up, you must be honest. Honesty must drive the wheel to leadership.
Hmm.
Don't take what is not rightfully yours. If you want to be leader, ask yourself, how good I am when it comes to people money business. What is my money capacity? Am I strong when it comes to money? Because money destroys people. In on the capital hill, yeah, because they corrupt. Is their integrity to withstand the what do I say? To withstand the temptation of money. At this point in time, I have controlled and lead people on the basis of basic money. I do things you are a witness. Listen, I feel that whatever I do, it's not about now, it's
Hmm.
about tomorrow.
Right.
So financial wise, no, I'm clean. I can eat but money, personal money. So if you're gonna be leader, you must ask yourself, how am I strong enough to control state resources, to control people money? Because if you're not strong, you'll be carried away by money.
Hmm.
Ask yourself, how honest I am to myself. Because if you're not honest, you're gonna be a leader.
True.
Listen, I know my limitation. I know my strength. So if I'm going through a process and I know that I have limitation, I can go into it. Do I build on it? But to some extent, I can go because I don't want to be defeated. I hate defeat, but I accept defeat. Because when I go into something, if I am 100% convinced that I'm going to this thing, it helps build me now. So if you're a leader, ask yourself two questions: how honest I am to
Hmm.
myself, and what is my ability to control state resources? Whether it can be small money, it can be plenty money. Ask yourself how mature you are to not eat people money. Because there are two things in this life.
Oh yeah,
If people are not strong, financially, they can be taken away by anything.
exactly. And we see that happening every time. Every time.
So that's my advice. You must be honest with yourself first, to yourself. Socrates said, know thyself. And I love that quote. Know thyself, Priscilla. To be a leader, you must know yourself. Know it in totality. Know your strength, know your weakness. That helps you become a great leader. And all the years I have built me up, I know myself 100%. Yeah.
Okay. So thank you, Chucky. Thank you.
Mm.
I mean, you made a powerful point, but we we want to hear something from you,
Okay.
like most especially when it comes to the role of young people into politics
Mm.
and leadership. Most times when you call out a young person or a young woman or young man to lead, they tend to escape or hide in the background because I don't want to say if they are afraid or they don't want to put themselves out there to be responsible for certain things. They don't want people maybe relying on them. I don't know that part, but most times young people are not willing to lead when it comes to youth leadership or politics. So how do you see the young people of Liberia role in politics or youth leadership in Liberia now?
Self discovery. Yeah. People, listen, people living, but they are not discovering themselves. That's why you see people shy over responsibility. If you discover yourself, self discovery is the ego to greatness. That's why I can say for free. People, when people discover themselves and know what they made, they will take on responsibility. But people have not been able to discover themselves. Know yourself, yeah, I'm John Brown. But how well you know yourself? What is your ability? What can you do at ease? Brazilian, I can talk 100 times. I won't get tired because I have discovered that is my potential. No, that's it.
Yeah, but I can see,
Eh?
I can see.
That is my ability, and I'm building on it gradually.
Sure.
Do I write? Yes, I can write. Do I have passion? Yeah, I have passion. But I don't see it to be a driving force. I want to be an interpreter of what is written in the book, and that's my strength. So, to be a leader, you must first discover yourself, know your limitation, and know your strength. Then you can become a great leader. That's my advice.
Cool. So, if you are just joining us, welcome to Fuka FM 89.5, and you are listening to the program, the Youth Panorama, and I'm your host, Priscilla George, and we are discussing youth leadership, politics, and we want to know if the young people of Liberia and across Liberia are getting more involved into youth leadership and politics, because we don't want us young people to be shying away from this, because this is an opportunity that we have to make decision for us. Many a times we rely on the older generation to make decision for us, but we have the opportunity to show up, to create a change, and to provide the kind of Liberia or community we want to live in. So if you are a young person out there aspiring to be a youth leader, listening to Chucky, a young youth leader, and or I don't know how she say an aspiring politician to come, but the man is now going down there. He's a journalist, but he's also been into youth leadership for a very long time. And he's having vast knowledge when it comes to these things. So if you are listening to him, you should be inspired, because this is a platform where we try to build people. We try to inspire people, not just anyone, but young people, to see how best we can bring them on board to transform Liberia and make it the kind of country we want it to be. We don't want to keep relying on the older generation and saying, "Oh, the people are not giving us the opportunity to make decision or to work or something or empower us." Every time they won't give you the opportunity, you have to fight for it yourself. You have to come up, show yourself, show people what you are capable of. Because nobody's gonna knock on your door and say, "Hey, I've seen your talent, I know what you can do, so come out." You have to show people something first before they can discover you. But discover yourself, like Chucky said, you have to discover yourself and be able to be responsible for things, not to shy away, because we don't want people shying away. We want for us, the young people of Liberia, to create change, to make an impact in our country, and to also empower other young people that are out there in the younger generation to come,
Yeah.
because they are depending on us. So time is fast spent. We have 5 more minutes to go. So if you have been following us and you have any question or comments, you can dial this number 0770 or if you are watching us on Facebook, you can just leave your comment or your question and we will get back to you. So Chucky, we talk along. I don't want to keep you here because
Yeah.
I know you have to go. So before you go, do you have a parting comment to?
So first thing I'd like to say thank you, Priscilla, for the privilege again to sit on this wonderful platform. And thanks to the management as well for allowing you to grow as well. And what I want to say to all of us as young people in Liberia, Let us try to be honest. Priscilla, the reason I'm saying honest is because people fall along the way because of dishonesty.
Exactly.
Listen, if you cannot do it, you can't do it. If you can do it, go for it. You must first evaluate yourself and know that what I want to do, am I able to do it? Be honest with yourself first. That's the first vehicle to national leadership. If you're not honest with yourself, you will fail. Listen, the day I become a lawmaker in the country, I will down a lawmaker. I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you, Priscilla. Listen, life is about self. Man by nature is selfish, right?
Mhm.
Anybody can say, oh yeah, man by nature is self. So when you discover yourself and know yourself, hmm,
Mhm.
then you can help people. Then you can do good. So you must be able to discover yourself first before you can give out. There's a saying that says, you cannot stand, then you won't hold something. You must first stand before you can help others. So in other words, you must discover yourself first. Know your worth, know your strength, know your limitation. Then you can say, I want to lead. If you know these things, obviously you will feel on the roadside. So I want to say thank you. And to our colleagues listening and watching, two things you must do. Be honest with yourself.
Okay.
Number two, know your strength when it comes to money.
Why you keep pressing with this money thing?
No, Priscilla, integrity comes along with value. So if people are not is not do not have the way to protect finance, finance is powerful. I'm telling you, when money has spirit, so
Of course.
people don't have self reliance. They do things out of the way. So I can say to you, know yourself, be honest with yourself, and know your ability to control finances. You'll be a great leader. Yeah.
Okay, so before you go,
Mhm.
before you go, if any young person out there wants to attend the YPLS Africa next cohort, what can you say to them? How can they have access to it?
So interestingly, it will be going to Nigeria next year.
Oh, ho, ho.
Yeah. So the YPLSA cohort tech team will be held in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah, will be held in Nigeria. And they seen number thing. They'll put out a link, you follow Nemo Nemo, partner group. You follow the Young Political Leadership School of Africa. It's there on social media. You can follow Eddie Jowd, you can follow Afia. They are the one who often post. But the next cohort will be here in Nigeria. So if you trust the ability, work with the community and be able to raise money to go to Nigeria next year. And we're hoping by God grace, next year, June, I will be my first travel to Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah. If God allows it to happen. But I
Okay.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, Chucky, thank you very much. Thank
Mm.
you for honoring this invitation. It was very enlightening to have you here because the knowledge that you shared, I mean, even me that's listening, I've learned a lot from you
Mm.
lately, and I know that our listeners too been following and they are impressed with the young man you are. So thank you for honoring our invitation and being here on the show. I hope that I get to see you soon because
Yeah.
I love your energy, by the way.
Thank you. And thank you as well. So before I leave you, you must be honest with yourself first to do better.
Okay.
Yeah. Be honest with yourself. And I see greatness in you. Be honest. Honesty is the vehicle to greatness.
Thank you.
Thank you as well.
So you just listening to the Youth Panorama on Foka FM 89.5. And this is a program that will be aired every Tuesday 3 to 4 p.m. So see you next Tuesday and keep following the Youth Panorama. And I'm your host, Mr. George. Bye bye.